everyone, Kate Theobald here. I'm doing the fourth module reaction video regarding President Obama's America's College Promise proposal. I wanted to give a little bit of background and an update on where that proposal is now, and then look at it in light of the current election year that we're in and how the candidates who are the front runners right now view higher education and similar proposals to this one. First, just kind of to sum it up, the America's College Promise proposal was first introduced in January of 2015. Basically, it says that it proposes to make community college free for 2 years for responsible students. Initially, I wanted that defined. What do you mean by responsible student? Doing a little bit further reading, learned that that means attending half-time, maintaining a 2.5 GPA, and making timely progress towards the degree, which in light of what we looked at in our last module with making timely progress towards the degree, where we're considering an 8-year graduation rate, I noted that with an 8-year graduation rate only sitting at about 30% right now, we need some reforms for this to make an impact. The bill is quoted as saying that community colleges must, quote, adopt promising and evidence-based institutional reforms to improve student outcomes. Yes, I think that's needed regardless of this bill, and I think that everyone would agree with that, which is why there's some research being done right now on how we can make community colleges better, how we can increase that graduation rate. And I think that those things are going to be still studied and looked at and implemented regardless of whether this proposal ultimately gets signed into law. Looking at where we are now, like I said, it was announced in January of 2015. In July of 2015, it was introduced in Congress, in the House as H.R. 2962 and in the Senate as Senate Bill 1716. No vote has been taken on either of those yet, and as you know, of course, a bill needs to pass the House and the Senate and then get signed into law by the President. I assume that as I think we can make the assumption that President Obama would sign it into law were it to pass the House and the Senate. In November of 2015, it was referred to a subcommittee on higher education workforce training, so it's moving but very, very slowly at this point. Obama said that he wanted to see this be implemented in 2015. Clearly didn't happen. We're in 2016 now, but there's some progress being made. So that's kind of some history of where it has been so far. A little bit of background, which of course we all read about it, so I think we have the initial background. I was curious with this particular act, what happens if it drags out even further and we have a new president? Is it something that would get signed in? Is it just sort of going to die at the House and Senate level, never see a vote? If someone else is in office, there are lots of positions, not just the presidency, but lots of positions within various government agencies that are up for grabs right now and people are voting on. So it's an interesting topic to be discussing in an election year. Without going into a political debate, I did want to just look at kind of what the four front-running candidates' views were on this to see, can we predict whether this would get signed into law or whether we think it's going to kind of fizzle out and pause where it is. Hillary Clinton has proposed the New College Compact. That's her higher education plan. She's quoted as saying, no family and no student should have to borrow to pay tuition at a public college or university. Bernie Sanders has proposed free higher education. Both candidates want these funded through various taxes. Donald Trump has said nothing official, although he is quoted as saying in regards to student loans, quote, that's probably one of the only things the government shouldn't make money off, end quote. Got that information from U.S. News and World Report, an article that was published in October of 2015. I couldn't find Cruz's position in that article. I think it's interesting that he wasn't included in October of 2015, but is gaining some ground now. So I did find some information about him published in January of this year that also confirmed what the U.S. News and World Report article said about the other three candidates' positions. With Cruz, this article that I found in the Daily Pennsylvanian, which is the University of Pennsylvania independent student news organization, says he's voted against several proposals to lower interest rates and, quote, wrote and proposed an amendment in 2013 that cut federal grants for lower income students and made it harder to repay loans, end quote. So like I said, without going into political debate, that's where the four kind of top front-runner candidates at the moment are standing on that. None of them that I've been able to find anyway is taking an official position supporting or going against America's College Promise Act, which I think is very interesting in light of the fact that it also hasn't gone to a vote yet. It's kind of been a slow process. I'm wondering if any of the rest of you have found anything else. Maybe there has been more progress that I wasn't able to find when I was doing my research, or maybe one of the candidates has said something specific in regards to America's College Promise Act. I think it would be really interesting. I think it would be interesting to see if Obama pushes this through as kind of one of his last acts before he is out of office. A very politically charged topic right now, and one that I'm very interested to see how it plays out. And I would love to hear the comments from the rest of you, and look forward to watching all of your videos. Thanks.